Hello again, this is The Whale. It's February 17th, 2017. This is an interesting week that we've just experienced. It is more of an anomaly than what you would typically see. I've had a lot of 2 out of 4s games that end up coming down to the wire. Games last night, for instance, where Boston was winning the game from the tip-off all the way to the very last shot of the game. Texas A&M was covering all the way to the last shot of the game. These are situations that are not typical, they are abnormal, but they do occur. Now imagine if somebody was betting everything straight up under a straight up system where they stick to a standard unit play for all games. This would have been a really tough week for them to recover from. You'd have to win a lot of plus units straight up to be able to recover. We, in our group, we track not only all the systems that we've come up with, but we're always curious as to how other top handicappers and sports experts who make a living at this, how they've done. This has been a really unusually bad week for everybody that we've seen and we track. It's been a week of choppiness and no developing patterns. It's pre-All-Star break. The All-Star game for the NBA is coming up, and sometimes you see fatigue factors kicking in and how much people are playing. Their playing time can be adjusted back and forth, and you don't know so far in advance what's going to happen in that area. But one thing I can tell you, I've never seen a season where the round-robin system doesn't end up creating more positive return on investment than any other betting system out there. I'm now a fan of the champ system, as you all are, and will be participating in those plays as well on a straight up manner. What I can assure you is that during the course of a season, based on the same starting capital amount invested into the sports programs, the round robin system will return a higher ROI than a straight betting system. One of the other factors that's been unfortunate for some of you that have jumped in the middle of this opportunity to participate in the whale picks was before the picks were being released to you, I had shown the champ system group what was being played on my end personally and had multiple round robins hit which weren't sent out. One thing that I can assure you is that the champ system did their due diligence. They made sure that what the claims that I was making, that they needed to see proof, and they also wanted to see some traction on the plays that I was making. What that ended up happening is that a nice wave of profitability that occurred about 10 days ago, people weren't able to participate in because at that time the champ system was doing their due diligence on my plays. I'm personally up for the month of February, and I'm up for the year. Depending on when you got involved, you are experiencing some down unit times at this point, which if you're following plays from other top handicappers outside of the champ group, you probably have seen that they've had some disappointing week as well. Going forward, it's important to understand that sure, it's fun when you win, and you can celebrate and get as excited as you want, but temper your emotions during the days where we go 1 out of 4, 2 out of 4, and games go down to the wire and they don't break our way. That happens. It's very similar to being a professional poker player. If you're playing poker, you're not going to be in on a lot of winning hands. What you're looking for is to win the big hands, to win the big pots. And you'll sit there and play, and if the flow of the cards don't look or feel right and you're not comfortable with them, you'll muck the hand a lot and lose your antes, lose your base bets. That's the same theory that I want you to use and I use for the whale system. You want to be comfortable with mucking your chips in and saying, okay, that pattern didn't work today, and this pattern didn't work today, and I lost some base units. The difference is when the situation is right, and if you're an expert poker player, you'll know when the odds are way in your favor, and you'll see when the streaks are occurring, and you'll maximize on the winning opportunities. And this system automatically limits your exposure on the downside. You can have an 0 for 4 ticket and it's just one losing unit. If you go 0 for 4 straight up, you got to win more than 4 straight games to make up for that one losing 0 out of 4. With this system, right now, some of you may be down as much as 42 units. All we have to do is hit one round robin, accelerate, and hit another round robin out of a group of 3 round robins, and you're ahead, and you'll stay ahead from that point on. That's the difference. Being down 42 units on a straight bet system, that's a tough hill to climb. On a round robin system, that's happens. It's no big deal. It's just very similar to playing poker, and you've been in 42 hands that you decided you didn't want to run with, and you went ahead and lost your antes or your first bets. So the people that should be part of the whale system are ones that can understand this and keep the emotions tempered during the cold streaks, keep their bets down during the cold streaks, and be ready to accelerate during the hot streaks. That's when it becomes fun, that's when it becomes very profitable, and it will occur every single sports season. Never seen it where it doesn't, and there's no reason after more than 2.5 decades of doing this that you won't see this similar results. And rest assured that I'm with you every step of the way. If there's a losing ticket, I'm on it as well. I'm not like other people who give out picks and don't take them themselves. I put my money where my mouth is at all times. On the round robin system, during a cold streak, if you consider a unit the actual individual parlay versus the round robin, let's go ahead and consider, for simplicity's sake, that a unit is each individual parlay within a round robin. So a round robin would have 4 units at play of 3-team parlays, or 3 units of 2-team parlays, depending on how the round robin is structured. And to take a situation where there's an unfortunate streak and a lot of games come down in the wire and we're on the wrong side of the bouncing ball in the last minute, which is what happened here this last week. The total number of units that we'd see on an extremely cold streak would be maybe negative 40 to 50 units in a week. Now let's put in perspective what happens during even a mild hot streak. Each round robin brings back a win of 24 units. So 2 consecutive round robins wouldn't just pay back the 48 units that would put it into plus territory, because remember, after the first one hits, you're going to accelerate to play more on the second one. So you'd win 24 on the first round robin that hits, and most likely you'd end up winning more like 50 units on the second one. So you could suffer through with me a cold spell where we hit maybe once every 2 months, where we have a week where we lose 40 or 50 units, and in one day or in 2 days you'll end up 50 units and climbing from there. Isn't that fun to know that it turns around that quick? You don't have to wait months to try to get it back and to get ahead. So as long as you're using risk capital and managing it carefully with the 1% per parlay or 4% per round robin of the existing risk capital at the time on the cold streaks, and will accelerate during the hot streaks, this system works every time. I apologize for the people that have not had a winning streak yet, but you'll see that they will occur on a regular basis, and this will be the most profitable system that you've ever seen season by season. Thank you for your time and attention. Look forward to the next winning streak. Signing off now.